Hello, welcome to this week's video. This week I'd like to talk about success. It's a very interesting word which I believe we deal with a lot in our lives. We talk about success a lot. There are a lot of opinions, there are a lot of ideas on what it means and how to be successful and all these kind of things. So I've been thinking about that recently. That's why I want to share a little bit of my thoughts on that matter. And it's really interesting topic that deserves attention from our part. A lot of people connect success with having a lot of money, having relationships we want, family, and majority of the external things or our surroundings in our life. But I'd argue, or I'd like to encourage you to think about that success mainly and foremost needs to come from within us. Needs to be something that's part of our being and being present. And the best definition or the closest thing or idea that I can relate success or the profound meaning of success to is just being present in any moment. Because we can categorize success in so many ways, and there are so many ideas that's really hard to see or to tackle it down and to say this is success and this is not success. But I would like to encourage you to think about this idea that we can feel successful no matter where we are in our life, or we are just dealing with our hard situations, or we're starting to contribute to something, or we're peak performing and we're on the top, or we're earning a lot of money. No matter where we are in life, we can feel successful, and it's important that we do, because this is what brings us to the best of the ability that we can share and give to other people and to ourselves. So if we touch on that from the, let's say, level one, or the where majority thinks, the best definition from that standpoint that I came across is you are successful when you are doing something you really love and enjoy and you're passionate about. That doesn't mean you're earning a lot of money. That just means that you're spending your time well. That be with your family, that you want to be a good mother, that be running a gas station around the corner, or running a business, or being a speaker, or being an athlete, or whatever. So the first measurement of success on this very obvious plain level that we all deal with on a daily basis can be considered doing something that you really love and enjoy in life, where you can just fall in flow and time passes by and you're enjoying it. But there are more, as I've already mentioned, there are deeper levels of success or where it needs to come from. Because if you look from the common standpoint, what people usually measure success with is with money and cars and wealth, houses, relationships, and things like that. And this is all good and nice, and it's part of our life, and it's all nice and proper and needs to be there. But I would like to encourage you to think a little bit deeper on that word and how it's connected with us being present and really living to 100%. Because what happens when we tackle the idea of success from that standpoint, material success and our surroundings, our environment, from that standpoint, is that we are kind of limited. Because when we don't feel so good, or that we lose money, or we break up with somebody, or something doesn't go the way that we wanted it to go, we feel bad and we don't feel successful. But what I would like to encourage you to think about is that that doesn't need to be the case. Because when we understand that feeling low, or contemplating, or going inside, or feeling depressed even sometimes, or feeling bad, whatever, is the part of us being successful. So if we're not down there, let's put it that way, if we don't feel bad, we can't value, we don't understand, we can't grow if we're just on the top all the time. I talked a little bit about that in the last video. Go check that to have a little bit of a better understanding what I'm trying to say if you don't follow 100%. So we limit ourselves if we go from high to low and we don't feel successful. I believe it's very possible, and this is how it should be, that we feel successful all the time just being alive. This is the simplest way to put it if we tackle the deeper level of what it means, because everything, as I've said, has its place. We need to be sometimes feeling down, but if we understand where we are, that we are on a decline or that we're down, we can still feel successful because we understand that this is also part of us being, living, and contributing to us and to others. So the presence for me, I mean, the word success in its deepest meaning is really very profoundly connected with the word presence, or with being in a given situation, given moment, and feeling it and being there, and no matter what's happening, you can feel or you can be successful just by being present, because everything has its place anyway. So this was something that I was thinking this week, and I don't think we pay enough attention to how to deepen our understanding and expectations externally. That's why I've layered it in two ways. First, that everybody sees when somebody is successful because they have money, they have career, they have good relationships, and all these kind of things. But we are really odd and strange because we consider people unsuccessful when they are, not 100% upbeat all the time. But what we miss is, a good chunk of our life, or a good amount of time that we can still feel successful just by being present in any given moment, because everything adds up and it's evolving and it's constantly growing. And in that sense, in that deeper sense, we're all successful all the time, and there is no lack whatsoever, ever. So this is something that I've been thinking about recently, and I'd like to encourage you to think how success is connected to us being present, being in the moment, understanding that everything is a big evolving energy ball, or whatever you want to call it, that our life is. And when we come from that place, it's a lot easier for us to contribute, to understand life, to do good things for ourselves and for others, because it's really, really, it becomes really easy when we let go and just being present. And even the word success gets a lot more profound and a lot more deep than it usually does for majority of the people that walk the streets, just thinking that having a good career and a lot of money is something that's called success. So there are two ways that I like to tackle success, and nothing is wrong with anything. Having money and all, the good things of being wealthy materially. But once we understand that there's all about presence, and there is always a thing evolving, we're actually successful every single second just by being alive. And that's something that's really profound, and it also helps you when you get successful to stay humble, to stay present, to understand that there's, no matter what's happening, there's always evolution and success in its deepest sense present around you. So I hope this serves you, these little thoughts of mine, and I'll see you next week. Continue.